Thanks, Mina. And hi, everyone. I'm Sam, coming to you live from our podcast studios here in New York to talk all things about our latest offerings. Joining me on the mic today is Sav, who truly puts the Sav in savvy when it comes to building the best-in-class advertising solutions. So, Savvy, high level, how is Spotify evolving? And more importantly, how is Spotify helping drive real business results for advertisers?
Well, first things first, Sam, it's Savanna to you. But that is a great question, and I'm excited to be here today to talk a little bit more about that. Our focus is really on being more automated, so saving advertisers time and effort, and also more performant, so that every campaign drives measurable results for our advertisers.
So, what are the best ways to buy automated media on Spotify to drive those results?
So we now offer two fully automated biddable solutions. We have Spotify Ads Manager, which is for maximum control and customization entirely on Spotify, and Spotify Ad Exchange, which is for programmatic activation and omni-channel efficiencies through your preferred DSP.
So, to put it simply, and use maybe a cheeky little analogy here, you could say Spotify's Ads Manager is the flagship store for Spotify, versus the Ad Exchange is like spotting Spotify amongst your favorite brands in your favorite department store.
That's a great analogy, Sam. You
nailed
it.
I try.
Yeah.
So the question then is, which should an advertiser choose?
Yeah. So it really depends on your goals. The reality is there is no silver bullet. And we really want to meet our customers where they are on their buying journey to help them meet their business objectives. So Spotify Ads Manager is a great way to run cost-effective and performance-driven campaigns focused entirely on Spotify, all within our first-party platform.
So what about the Ad Exchange?
So the Ad Exchange is a really convenient path for advertisers that are already managing programmatic campaigns using their DSP of choice. It plugs directly into your existing workflow, allowing you to add our audience seamlessly to your omni-channel campaigns, really making it easier to activate across Spotify.
What I love about that is both sound like we're meeting the customer in the middle,
Absolutely.
How they used to already buy media. But let's just kind of go back a little bit there. What you're saying, it isn't really an either-or choice.
No. In some cases, you actually might want to use both. You might want to use Spotify Ads Manager for your always-on campaigns, whereas you'll turn to Spotify Ad Exchange for something like a big product launch, where you're trying to reach a really niche audience, and you have the ability to leverage some of our addressability solutions via the Ad Exchange.
So how easy is it within the Ad Exchange to add Spotify to your media mix?
And for advertisers that are already running programmatically, the Spotify Ad Exchange is so seamless just to add our inventory into your preferred DSP. We really want to meet our customers where they are and help solve for their unique business needs and challenges.
Okay, we are a performance podcast today. I'm not letting get you away with just broad statements like preferred DSP. Give us some names. Who exactly is this?
Fair enough, fair enough. I won't gatekeep all the secrets and details, but we have direct integrations with The Trade Desk and DV360. We also have access to around 30 DSPs via our connection to Magnite. So that means that programmatic buyers can access Spotify's premium music and podcast inventory across all of our formats, audio, video, and display.
So let's double down on the Ad Exchange there. It's new, which is great. It's exciting. But for those performance advertisers out there, the question is it's so new, is it even performing yet?
Yeah. Well, we just launched in April, so it's still early days, but the results are already speaking for themselves. We've actually seen that omni-channel campaigns that include Spotify drive a 44% lower cost per action. We're really excited because it is still early days to kind of learn more alongside our partners as we evolve this offering and build out additional tooling and functionality.
That's great. And to hear those results so soon after launch is pretty promising.
Yeah.
So let's shift gears now. Let's talk about Sam.
Like you?
I wish. We could do a whole podcast on that if we wanted to.
We'd be here all night.
But today, obviously, it's talk about the Spotify Ads Manager. Let's talk about that tool. It's obviously going through a lot of change. It's evolving. Yeah. We talked about it getting more performant. It's a performance advertising kind of deep dive on it today. Let's get to the crux of it. Tell me more about this tool.
Yeah. So let's zoom out a little bit and talk about how we're evolving this platform. We're continuing to launch tools and features that all kind of help you create new ways to buy, create, and measure. So first, let's talk a little bit about some new ways to buy. So we've introduced goal-based bidding, and this allows you to set a target cost per click, optimizing toward that cost automatically and allowing you to choose from 2 different bid strategies, whether that's maximum bid or a cost per result.
What I love about this is it sounds like we truly are just putting the foundations in now. And this seems like our first step towards building that capability across an array of objectives, but more importantly, across the full funnel.
Yeah.
I think what I think is important for this, though, is it's ultimately buying and kind of bringing that ease of purchase that people are so used to on other platforms to Spotify and to the audio environment. I think this just obviously shows huge potential in the long term for how we can maximize performance. But let's kind of talk about the here and now and kind of what's to come, hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Maybe some little bit of a teaser of what's to come.
We can tease out a little bit. So we're really excited that we're going to be launching a powerful new feature, which is web event custom audiences. This means that you can re-engage people who have already shown intent. So maybe a listener added an item to their cart, but they didn't kind of complete the purchase. This will also allow for kind of tailored messaging to reach our users through different phases of the consumer journey. We're really excited about this one coming later this year.
That sounds great. And we all know some of the best marketing campaigns, or all marketing campaigns, should be thinking about that full customer journey. We've obviously had a couple of marrying of customers' data to our data through custom audiences and lookalikes for a while now in the ecosystem. Is there kind of any early learnings that we can take from those that kind of indicate where maybe performance could go with this new solution?
Yeah. So our internal data actually shows that campaigns that are using either custom or lookalike audiences actually see a 2.3x increase in conversion rates. So we're really excited to continue to double down on that performance.
It's not surprising. At the end of the day, if we're going to marry your data with ours, it's not surprising you're going to get the best performance. And I think, again, the more that we can open that up to advertisers, it just creates a huge opportunity. But obviously, one thing that is very unique to Spotify is our first-party data. We obviously have all of those music consumption, podcast listenership. That is just an array of exciting opportunities within the first-party space. Surely we must be giving people more ways to play with that data.
Yeah, it's kind of our secret sauce, We're really excited that we are going to be launching nearly 30 new contextual categories, anything from workout to relaxation. These tools are going to really help our advertisers reach users based on what they're feeling, clicking, turning intent really into action.
Okay, so you can take the workout, I'll take the relaxation category there.
I think that works.
Fair. I think what really is exciting there is, like we're saying, is the secret sauce. It's ultimately how people are going to use our data to maximize their performance, both within the Spotify app, but also within the broader Spotify ad network.
This is actually a great segue for us to talk a little bit about podcasts. You're familiar with the concept, right?
I think this classifies as a podcast at this stage.
I think we're professionals.
We got the mics.
Yeah. So there truly is no media type that builds intimacy and connection with users quite like podcasting.
People feel connected to us right now.
Exactly. We're all best friends here. But podcasts are now available via Spotify Ads Manager and Spotify Ad Exchange, really making it easier for advertisers to access this inventory. So you have the ability to target by show category or context, reaching listeners both on and off Spotify.
So I mentioned the ad network there. Yeah. You've just said on and off Spotify. Can we unpack that? What does that actually mean?
Yeah. It essentially means you can meet a user while they're in the confines of the Spotify app listening to their favorite podcast, or if they're listening on another streaming platform.
To me, that means probably one big thing for advertisers, incremental reach.
You nailed it. So we actually see that advertisers that add podcasts to their media mix see a 96% unique audience on average.
That's pretty huge. But let's just move away from talking about data. I love talking about data, love talking about performance, but let's just be key. We all know that at the heart of every good ad campaign is creative, and creative is key for performance. And so I think what I really want to unpack is what are we doing in that space?
Yeah.
How are we making it easier to make creative on the platform? Again, audio is a new medium for a lot of people, but more importantly, how are we enabling people to kind of optimize and test in our space?
So earlier this year, we launched our generative AI tool. This really allows advertisers to create audio assets in minutes instead of days. We actually see that about 50% of advertisers are creating an asset in just under 9 minutes.
That's less than the length of this podcast.
Well, not if you keep including all these cheeky jokes, but yes.
They weren't pre-rehearsed.
Yeah, fair. We're currently live with this solution in the US, Canada, and recently just launched in the UK. We're really excited to continue doubling down and evolving on this roadmap.
Well, now I have to insert a joke about how my voice wasn't used. A little bit offended by that. Surely the product, you could have done me a favor, give me a little bit, get my voice out there, get my talent known. But I think, again, great that it's available across these markets. Great to hear about that expansion. But what about all the other markets? And then again, we're not just audio. We're a video and display platform. What are we doing there for these?
We want to make it easier to be on Spotify. We don't want creative to ever be a barrier. So whether you have other video assets from other platforms or even audio assets, we can take all of those. We also have audio creation tools that are all directly within the Ads Manager interface, allowing you to work with voice actors, choose from a library of background music, and have professional kind of audio mixing all directly in the platform for free.
So we're making it easy.
Absolutely.
So speaking of making life easy, I've heard some rumors that we're opening up a little bit and we've got some partnerships on the horizon that's going to really enable to bring the best of Spotify's Ads Manager into an array of partnership platforms.
That's right. We're opening up our platform. We know that many of our advertisers work with partners to automate and optimize the campaigns. And just last week, we announced that we're making that even easier by introducing an integration between Spotify and Smartly. If you already use Smartly to manage other parts of your media mix, this integration brings Spotify Ads Manager into the fold.
And again, what I love about this is we're meeting customers in the middle more. Again, if they're already on these platforms, let's just bring Spotify to them, not necessarily having to log into another interface. And again, hopefully this is a sign of one of many to come in the next couple of months. So we talk about simple, going back to the 101s of advertising, we talked about creative ease. We've just covered that. We've talked about the partnership opening up different mechanisms to create the assets. The key though is testing. How are we enabling people to test in that creative environment? Because we know creative is just so important on Spotify.
Yeah. So we have a really exciting new feature coming later this year that's really going to supercharge advertisers' ability to test and learn alongside us. Today, often our advertisers are rotating creative manually. They're looking at performance of ad sets after the fact. But we're going to be launching split testing soon, which is really going to flip this on its head, making it easier to test and learn alongside Spotify. So with split testing, you'll be able to launch tests in just a few clicks, and you'll be able to see real results that you can trust.
Well, the question then is, are we bringing this together? So you're going to have the ease of creation through AI, split testing. How are we thinking about how this just all gels?
Yeah, that's a great question. Gen AI audio creation is going to help us scale this much quicker, allowing you to easily create audio assets, test and learn across a variation of creative assets all within minutes. It's really going to reduce the barrier to kind of test and learn strategies across Spotify. And what that really means is less guesswork and more confidence in truly what's resonating on Spotify for your audience.
Yeah, of course.
So, Sam, time for me to ask you a little question.
Putting me on the spot?
I'm putting you on the spot. What is this? What's your big takeaway from this? And what does this mean to you?
Well, it sounds like Sam, as in not me. Again, that podcast is hopefully going to come out soon. Is a platform, our ads manager, it's just evolving. And I think what's really key here is it's more automated, more biddable, and more performant than ever before.
Exactly. So whether you're activating through Ads Manager or the Spotify Ad Exchange, we're giving you the tools to buy, create, and measure campaigns that deliver real results on Spotify.
On Spotify, fandom drives attention. And with these tools, you can turn that attention into the outcomes for your business. We're now going to hand back to you in the studio, Mina.